Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and kind of like this lighting because it looks like there's just a black void behind me, except like this one little thing, like one little dot there. But anyway, wanted to, since I watched the Fright Night films again, to look at my favorite vampire film from Dusk Till Dawn. And I figure I will also talk about the sequel in another video, which I think is a bit underrated. I don't think this film is a 4.0 out of 10 IMDb bad. It's not as good as the first one, but it's a direct-to-video film, and as a direct-to-video film, it's actually, I think, pretty damn good for a direct-to-video flick. But yeah, this is my favorite vampire film. I definitely want to pick this up on Blu-ray sometime, because the picture quality isn't too shabby anymore. This seems like it was an early DVD. Because even you look at the menus and had a lot of bonus materials. I mean, but yeah, I definitely want to see what this film looks like in HD. Because Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, when I wasn't calling them Robbie Rod or I don't think I came up with any names for Quentin Tarantino, but Robbie Rod. The reason I kept started calling Robert Rodriguez Robbie Rod was I did not like Machete, which was more like Machete. And then Machete returns or Machete kills himself. Fucking Spy Kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 11, how many of them? Shark Boy, Lava Girl. What the hell was the other one? Oh, Writing Predators. He wrote and produced and was a big guy behind the scenes of Predators. And saying that's the real sequel to Predator. I'm like, yeah, a wannabe remake of Predator is the true sequel Predator. No, you know, the true sequel Predator is the one with Danny Glover kicking ass and saying, fuck yourself. That's what Danny Glover should tell Robbie Rod for saying that shit. Fuck yourself. In all seriousness, it's his opinion. It sounds like Robbie Rod probably wasn't a fan of Predator 2, saying that, oh, Predators is the true sequel. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think the film he produced and wrote was a shitty wannabe remake. I think Predator 2 is the most underrated sequel of all time. But this is about Predator 2 or Predators. It's about From Dusk Till Dawn. But anyway, this is a time I liked Robert Rodriguez. El Mariachi wasn't my cup of tea, but I respect it because I look at the film. I'm like, this cost $7,000. All right, damn, I'm impressed. Desperado, I really enjoy. Even after this, I don't mind Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That's actually the last time I gave a shit about, like, Johnny Depp. I thought was really good, and I liked him in Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse. I saw it in the theater, loved it, great experience. I own the Blu-ray. Saw it in the theater, wish it was a success. I would love to have seen more double feature Grindhouse movies. But most people didn't go, so thank you for that, audience. But Robert Rodriguez nowadays, well, okay, I like Sin City. I forget Sin City. That might be, well, Grindhouse is the last time I liked anything Robbie Rod did. But before that was Sin City. Sin City 2, that was another piece of shit. Machete kills himself, fucking his Spy Kids and Lava Girls and producing, writing shitty Predator movies. Quentin Tarantino, the last thing I liked about was Grindhouse. I don't care for Inglourious Bastards. I'm sorry. I never understood the love for it. The first, like, I swear, the first 30 minutes is that one guy who, for some reason, won an Oscar, and I have no idea why he won an Oscar for that. Just talking and chit chatting with another guy, some farmer guy or some guy in the middle of nowhere at his table, And I swear, if it's not 30 minutes, then I'm surprised. This really fucking felt that way. I like Brad Pitt, but sometimes it seemed like Brad Pitt disappeared from the fucking movie. And it should have been centered on Brad Pitt's character. If it was centered on Brad Pitt's character, through and through, I would have liked Inglourious Basterds more. But it wasn't. At least it didn't seem like it when I saw it. Django Unchained, I liked. I'm mixed. Part of me liked it, part of me felt it was way too long, and there was stuff that could have been cut out. But on the flip side, I like Jamie Foxx. I like the action scenes and the big blood squibs. I enjoyed hearing the theme from They Call Me Trinity, which is a favorite western of mine. Do 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 do. I like that. So I'm 50-50 on it. I did not see the last one he made with Kurt Russell, but I've read up some stuff. I've heard some things. I can't say it because it'd be spoilers and people would get mad. But from all I heard in the trailers, it just the Hateful Eight. That's what it is. Just doesn't interest me. And again, I can't really go into it because people would be pissed. Oh, you spoiled it, you asshole. I spoil a lot of things, but I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to. But I like Reservoir Dogs. I do really enjoy Pulp Fiction. Kill Bill is my favorite thing he's directed. I love Kill Bill Volume 1. I like Volume 2. I mean, wasn't as action-packed as Volume 1, but I liked it. I mean, I even found somewhere online to watch the whole bloody affair, which they combined both of them. Just not released here in the U.S., so I had to watch it online somewhere. I enjoyed that. Jackie Brown I even like. So there's a lot of Tarantino films I enjoy. I just didn't care for his last couple. Well, one I was mixed, and Inglourious Basterds I didn't care for, and Hateful Eight just doesn't seem interesting to me. And Sarah Roberts. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of Tarantino stuff I do like. Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, both volumes. I like Jackie Brown. I don't mind Reservoir Dogs. Robert Rodriguez, I like Desperado. I like Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I like both of their films in Grindhouse. Planet Terror was a lot of fun, and I even enjoyed Death Proof. I will admit Death Proof feels a little bit long. I think there could have been some editing in Death Proof, especially the first half. Which I know that was the point, is that, anyway. It's almost 8 minutes, I haven't gotten to this. But I'm just explaining my thoughts on Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. I don't hate these guys. Like, nowadays, I'm less interested in what they're doing, but there's a lot of stuff they've done I've enjoyed. And this is my favorite thing both of them have done. My all-time favorite. Robert Rodriguez film. My favorite film Tarantino has written or been involved with, honestly. It's my favorite film dealing with George Clooney. I think he's his best character as Seth Gecko. George Clooney, a friend of mine, said it best. It seems like George Clooney, his roles after this, and he's done some films I've enjoyed. I enjoy Michael Clayton, for example. Out of Sight, I don't think it was bad. I don't love it, but I don't think it was bad. I actually did not mind the Peacemaker with Nicole Kidman. I actually don't mind that flick. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite. And yeah, my friend was saying he's never played a character as cool as this ever again. Which is true, and I don't know why. What pisses me off about this is there's a Blu-ray overseas in Germany that you have to have a region-free Blu-ray player. I don't have that. It pisses me off. Because the Blu-ray of this overseas, again, I think it's in Germany, has a new interview with George Clooney. You find a little tiny clip of it on YouTube, but it's not the whole thing. I would love to hear a new interview with George Clooney on this. There is a Blu-ray out in the U.S., and it's like, one day I'll pick it up. I don't think it doesn't have any new features. But again, I picked it up, just the picture quality on this isn't the best. I'll probably keep this because it probably doesn't have the second disc, which is the documentary Full Tilt Boogie, which I enjoyed that as well. I thought that was fun. But I'd love to see new interviews, new special features. It's too bad Scream Factory could not have done something with this. Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, because it was '96. So I didn't even think about it. This is really the 20th anniversary of this. Now that I think about it, this was '96. Yeah, 96, 06, 16. Fuck, I didn't realize it is the 20th anniversary of From Dusk Till Dawn. And I don't think anyone ever said anything about that, did they? That this 20th anniversary of this? Man, I think it came out January of '96, and it's a shame. Oh yeah, and then on the Blu-ray in Germany, there's like an interview with, I believe, the Kurtzman K of KMB. Just originally he was going to direct this. I believe the whole idea was uh, he would work on Reservoir Dogs with the ear cutting scene, effects wise, if he could help write a script for an idea he had for a vampire film that he wanted to direct. And there's actually a little teaser that you find on YouTube that Robert Kurtzman is going to direct From Dusk Till Dawn, and starring Joe Pilato. Yes, from Rhodes from the original Day of the Dead, which I'd still love to see that movie. I would love to see that film. Hell, they could have done that for one of the From Dusk Till Dawn sequels. Have Robert Kurtzman come in and direct it, and have Joe Pilato as the lead. But hey, what do I know? But anyway, the film, it's very well written. It's got a great cast: George Clooney, Juliette Lewis. Tarantino does fine as Richie, the brother Seth. They're two bank robbers. You have Harvey Keitel as a preacher whose wife has passed away, so he's lost his faith. He has two kids. One of them is Juliette Lewis from Natural Born Killers. Cheech Marin, he plays three roles in this, which is fun. Fred Williamson, the Hammer, is in this. Selma Hayek as Santanical Pandemonium. Danny Trejo makes an appearance. Tom Savini as Sex Machine. Savini does good acting wise. Fred Williamson, nice to see him in there. Michael Parks, who's in the beginning of the film, he does a good job as his Texas Ranger at the beginning of the flick. Even John Saxon makes a little cameo appearance. I don't want to forget anybody. There's quite a few people in this that's recognizable. And this is just one of those movies that, like I said, it's very well written. The first hour is this build up. And when you have an hour of build up, a lot of times if you don't do that right, that could kill a movie. But this did it very well. George Clooney and, like I said, Clooney and Tarantino are two bank robbers. They're brothers, and they're not good guys. It's not like, oh, he's a bank robber with a heart of gold. No, these are really bad guys. They will kill you. But Tarantino's character, he's a rapist. He has little delusions. He sees things, but then the people talk to him, but that's not really how it happened. And you tell that Seth, George Clooney's character, he's a little less evil of the two. But again, I mean, you got when the hour kicks in, they're at the titty twister at this bar, and then all these vampires appear. Then Clooney and Tom Savini and Fred Williamson are killing all these vampires. You got effects by KMB. You have this table with four legs, and Fred Williamson is impaling all these vampires. Sex Machine hits Danny Trejo with the pool cue and stakes him in the heart. George Clooney gets a foot on him by Selma Hayek. Welcome to slavery. That's okay. I already have a wife. Shoots and fucks her up. They figure out what to do. I mean, by the end, him and Clooney and Harvey Keitel and the two kids are fighting all these vampires. I love the way they look because they're vampires, but they're almost like ghouls and zombie type of vampires. Love the effects. And George Clooney has like a jackhammer with a stake and is just impaling vampires left and right. Harvey Keitel has the shotgun with the cross, and there's like that bat that hangs upside down. He just shoots you right in the fucking face. Juliette Lewis has a little crossbow. Then you have the other kid that no one cares for, no one gives a shit about. Because of all the actors, like this guy, Ernest Liu, he's like the. It's almost as if it was a running joke. No one gives a shit about this kid. Because, like, Tom Savini just bitch smacks him, and he dies like the most horrible way. He gets bit by his own dad, Harvey Keitel, and he gets like bit by 8 vampires, and he gets blown to shit. I don't think the actor did a bad job. He hasn't gone on to do anything, but I just say that because he of the cast, he's the one that's like, okay, I know Juliette Lewis and Tom Savini and Fred Williamson and Harvey Keitel, George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, and Ernest Liu with a Precinct 13 T-shirt, and it's like, okay, that's kind of the odd man out, so to speak. The score is well done, great songs. I think I see her suck my blood. Or a long night. Long night. Great dialogue in the film. At the end, when Clooney and Juliette Lewis escape, and the doors are open, and Clooney's contest Cheech Marin. He's got the doors open, all the vampires explode. And Cheech Marin's like, what, were they psychos? And Clooney goes, do they look like psychos? Psychos do not explode when sunlight hits them. I don't give a fuck how crazy they are. But yeah, George Clooney, he's great in the lead. Even though he is a bad guy, like he is kind of, in many films, he would be the main villain. Hell, I mean, he'd be like this close to Dennis Leary in fucking Judgment Night or something. He'd be that, but there are things more evil than in him, and I just kind of like you would see later and stuff like Pitch Black, where Vin Diesel's Riddick and such. And I don't even know if I didn't even call him an anti-hero. I mean, he is a villain, but George Clooney does such a good job that I still like him. And it's just so cool. I guess it's kind of like how, some people like the Joker, even though he's evil. They think he's so cool that they like the Joker, or other villainous characters. But at the same time, he's still kind of, I don't want to say hero, but he is our lead. And I still like his character. Whether everybody be cool, you be cool. Or if you try to run, I got 6 little friends here, and they all run faster than you. Or when they open the door and Harvey Keitel sees them, what's this? And then George Clooney sucker punches him, and he goes, it's called a punch. It's just a lot of stuff, a lot of lines that make me chuckle, like when Tarantino dies, and his last line is, the fucking bitch. I don't know why, like, certain lines of that nature made me laugh. I mean, again, it takes an hour to do a build-up because that could be the kiss of death for a lot of movies. I know I'm saying that before, but to further get on that, what Robert Rodriguez directing it and Quentin Tarantino did writing it was they made an interesting movie even before the vampires come in, and the vampires is just sugar on top of everything. It's the cherry on top. It's one of those things where it makes it even more fantastic. Like it's a good movie so far, and it just puts it over from 10 to 11. And the action's well done. It's definitely rated R. The dialogue, Quentin Tarantino did a great job with this, and I can't do the dialogue justice, but yeah, Michael Parks at the beginning as Earl McGraw, the Ranger, and he does a lot of fun delivery. Like, well, it's been one long goddamn hot, miserable, shit ass fucking day every inch of the way. And that Lee already has a cross to bear. Because he's gotta take care of that potato head. Or, of course, again, George Clooney, everybody be cool. You be cool. And Tarantino, he's the more crazy of the group, kills the Ranger, says the store clerk talked, and he's like, I didn't. And Richie shoots him in the shoulder. And you tell that George Clooney knows that Richie's full of shit. Tarantino's character's full of shit. But then the store clerk starts shooting. You have a fun little action scene in the store. Some little Molotov cocktails with like toilet paper. And it burns up the clerk. And the both of them walk out while the store explodes right behind them, the liquor store. Well done, practical. It pretty impressive that those two didn't fuck up their lines while this whole store is blowing up right behind them. Again, fun dialogue. As they're going, you see like what they call the commentary Superman vision, where you see they have a hostage in the trunk, and then George Clooney leaves, comes back, and that's where he finds out that Quentin Tarantino seemed to have raped and killed her. I thought this was really well done. Well done editing wise, because you don't see all the grisly of the scene. You just see sort of flashes while George Clooney is looking at this. And I thought he gave a really good performance in that scene, where he's like, what's wrong with you? Is it my fault? See, I'm a fucking thief. I am not, I don't kill people that I don't have to, and I don't fucking rape women. What you are doing, I can't do it justice. He did a lot better than that. I could try to recreate it, but I just fucked it up. Oh, here's a. Is it me? Is this my fault? Do you think that this is what I am? I'm a professional fucking thief. I don't kill people that I don't have to. I don't rape women. What you are doing? What are you doing? What you are doing slams him back of the wall. What you fucking doing is not how it's done. Do you understand? Say yes, Seth. I understand. Say yes, Seth. I fucking understand. And then they need new hostages, and they get Harvey Keitel and his two kids, and who's in a camper. They go across the border. One of Cheech's three appearances is the border patrol guy. Then you get the titty twister. You get the second Cheech Marin, where he's one of the vampires. He's talking about the pussy, pussy. Come on, pussy lovers. We got Spanish pussy, yellow pussy, white pussy, hot pussy, cold pussy. We got smelly pussy, hairy pussy. We got snapping pussy, silk pussy, Naugahyde pussy. We got dog pussy, chicken pussy. If you want pussy, come in. If you find it cheaper, fuck it. Danny Trejo for the bit role he has, he's good. Honestly, I think Danny Trejo works better in bit roles than as a main guy. That's just my opinion. I don't think he could carry an entire movie, as I've seen Machete, and he was okay in Badass, but it's not like a movie I love. Danny Trejo does okay, but I think he does better in bit roles. Even this, when Centennial Pandemonium comes in, it's like, you bow your head. And gives his little speech. And Selma Hayek, very sexy. And it's kind of interesting. Like, she is really the main vampire, but she dies fairly early on in the fact that When she dies, is probably 30 minutes of the film left. 35 minutes. I'm just saying that was kind of interesting because usually they would save that main vampire for the end, but she dies. Well, I say early, but it's like an hour until the vampire stuff happens and this other stuff. But so I thought that was interesting. When all hell breaks loose, people get their throats slit, people get their heads ripped off, heads thrown. There's some stuff cut out that I wish was kept in. Like you see the monster when you have like the 4-on-4 Clooney, Keitel, Fred Williamson, Thomas Savini versus the four vampires. And one of them is the vampire that has like teeth on her stomach. But there was a scene in the deleted sequences where it actually took a guy and put his head in there. And you see that the stomach mouth bites the guy's head off. And I wish they would not have cut that out. I wish they would finish that. Because I thought that was a really cool idea. But, they cut it out. And there's some fun dialogue, like Tom Savini going, wondering, hey, dude. It's the scene where they're talking about how to kill vampires, and Harvard guy tells him, "Has anyone read a real book? Like instead of just watching movies, read a real book." And I think Tom Savini says like a Lifetime book or something. And Harvard Keitel goes, "I guess the answer is no." And I'm trying to think. There's so many things that you talk about in the flick. Like there's so many great little moments. Even when back near the beginning of the film, when George Clooney wants a room, and this old guy's like, "What the hell you want?" And Clooney goes, "What do you think I want, you mean old bastard? I want a fucking room." And then the guy goes, "Okay, all right." I think the film is very funny. It's very entertaining. Um, Even though you don't see vampires for an hour, it's okay. If you want to do that, you gotta make the movie entertaining. It's just like Aliens. You don't see the actual aliens for a long time, but the movie's entertaining enough with some interesting characters and fun dialogue and you know, well done directing. I mean, he did a great job with this. And they're fans of exploitation movies. That's what they want to do. They want to make an exploitation film. And they did a good job with that. And again, George Clooney, his character is really fun to watch. And there's also a lot of quirky stuff in it. Like when Tom Savini turns, he's like, "Now let's kill that fucking band." And the band actually it's one of those things that I do say in real life. It's like, "Fuck y'all tonight," and then they just blow up for some reason. I think that's what the band says, like, "Fuck you all tonight." Whether I'm playing video games or such, and I again, that's a piece of dialogue I do say from time to time. Or like the dialogue George Clooney shares with the Harvard Keitel, and Clooney goes, "Listen, we don't need a preacher, a priest who doesn't have faith. There's vampires out there. Are you a faithless preacher, or are you a mean motherfucking servant of God?" Then Harvard Keitel's like, "I'm a mean, servant of God." And Harvey Keitel did a great job. I would say it's one of his more underrated performances because he played very much against type, where he's a very sort of meek kind of guy at the beginning of the film, but he's a tough guy, and he's a guy, even as a preacher, he can kick ass when he has to. I really liked his character. For Williamson was fun. I mean, the scene, "Yo, monkey man," and just rips the fucking vampire's heart out. And then Tasmania comes with a pencil and stabs the heart. Just a lot of fun stuff. I mean, when the action hits, it really goes at a very fast pace. It doesn't let up, and this is insanely entertaining movie. It really is. It's such an entertaining film, and I think it does such a great job with that. It's one of those movies that, as you can tell, I'm gushing over it. It's just, it does a lot of things right. What you have when you have a great cast, like these people right there, all those names. Fred, some nice guys from the past, like Tom Savini and Fred Williamson. Even, again, John Saxon has a little cameo on a TV. Well written characters. Fun to listen to dialogue, some really funny stuff. Some great action, great effects by TMB. The only thing I can say about the effects, some of the morphine, like when they kill, or some of the little bits of computer stuff, like when all the vampires are dead, and then you have this wide shot with all these vampires turn, and it's on fire. Like that shot doesn't hold up today. Some of the little morphine, this was the time they were doing morphine effects. It's not the best. I was never a big fan of the morphine stuff. Little nitpicks here and there. But other than that, I can't really say anything bad about it. Like I said, the songs are fun to listen to. It's well shot. Yeah, Duran Ravel even did a good job with the score. That's what I was trying to find on here. Well done action, fun ending. Even that last pan shot where you have that sort of, it looks like a map painting where the titty twister was actually above this big ass temple. Such a fun movie. Great vampire film. And I love when you mix action and horror. That's usually my favorite when they do that. Aliens, Predator 1 and 2. Even I Come in Peace a little bit. I mean, it's not, people won't think of it as horror, but alien drug dealer from outer space that shoots CDs that bounce off people's necks and, put holes in people's brains, sucking out their brain juice. I do see a little horror in that. Silent Rage. I mean, list goes on. Dog Soldiers, which is my favorite werewolf film, and this is action and vampires. It's my favorite vampire film. So yeah, Aliens is one of my favorite films of all time. It just, I'm trying to say. Anyway, From Dusk Till Dawn, classic film. Yeah, I did not realize. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's the 20th anniversary of this, and I can't believe nothing was done for this. Special edition wise, 20th anniversary. And nothing was done? Robert Rodriguez? Tarantino? Just saying. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And I'm going to talk about the sequel next. I'm not going to talk about the third one because the third one can suck my dick. So, see you later.